DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines, proudly presents Etc. 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 with Nicole Jacinto. Explore the many sides of the Philippines, a touch of comedy, music, and provoking thoughts. And now, here's your host, Nicole Jacinto.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Nicole Jacinto, and no, this is not a joke, this is not a recording, this is not a replay. I am actually here today on August 21, Tuesday, 2012. I know it's a holiday, so many of you may be home listening. You might be relaxing at home or preparing for the rest of the work week tomorrow. 3 days left for that. You might be hanging out with your kids. You might be in your cars driving to the malls. And you know what? Today on Etc. 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 I have a very special show because I have with me a bunch of teenagers. Yes, teenagers. How old are you guys?
We're 16.
Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 16-year-olds with me. And actually what we're going to discuss is we're going to talk about the RH bill today. I was talking to one of these kids a few days ago, and I was just interested to hear what they had to say about it or what their thoughts were, because we hear a lot of debate about the RH bill today, and most of us haven't really examined it, and I want to know what the young kids think. And these young kids have really thought things out well, and it's just good to hear their point of view. Now, if you want to join in the discussion today, if you want to give your comments, share, or just say hi to them, or maybe tell us what your kids think or what your kids are saying. It doesn't matter if you're pro RH bill or anti RH bill. We accept everything here. This is a forum of discussion, and we want to talk about ideas. We want to see what people think, how they feel, and talk from there. So call us up at 897-8374, 895-4460, 895-4244. Now, we hear a lot of debate about the RH bill, and we often see politicians taking their stand on TV, whether they're senators, congressmen, or they represent their officials of local government units, or whether they're spokespersons for certain agencies like national agencies like the Department of Health. Whatever the case may be, you don't have to be one of them. If you have any ideas or feelings, or you have strong thoughts, or you're passionate about this issue, or maybe if you don't know and you want to know more, call us up at 897-8374, 895-4460, and 895-4244. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. Okay, can you guys just introduce yourselves? Just give us your names.
Hi, I'm Angelica.
Hi, I'm Anne.
Hi, I'm Claudine.
And hi, I'm Fatima.
Okay, can you guys hear yourselves okay? Yes. Okay. And can you out there, if you guys out there can't hear us, call us up and let us know, I can't hear you. Just call in. We just want to hear your voice. We just want to say hi. Okay, so let's start off with, this, when we talk about the RH bill, it's House Bill, what's the number again?
4244.
Okay, 4244. And we all know that they're in the middle of deliberating this, and that in Congress, for example, in the lower house, this happened actually on August 6th, the day before the flood. They stopped the interpellation. I mean, they voted to end the debates or the interpellation, but it still has to pass through the third reading, which is when they vote on it, yes or no. So anyway, we're at that point in our history where we will be passing, if this bill should pass, it's Reproductive Health Bill 4244, and it's known, the longer title is the Responsible Parenthood, Reproductive Health and Population and Development Act of 2011. So we know that, and we know there's a lot of people, debating heavily, and people really get passionate and they get angry about it and they have strong feelings. So I want to know what you guys think.
Well, personally, I don't really agree with a lot of things said in the RH bill.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I don't think that because our country, poverty is very rampant,
Mm-hmm.
and lots of people don't have food, don't have homes, don't have clothes, aren't receiving education, especially with the recent floods. So many people lost their homes, so many families are in evacuation centers.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that we have other needs that we need to address before the needs that this bill wants to address. Like, instead of using our nation's money to buy contraceptives and forward family planning. I think that it should be used to, build homes for people, feed them, clothe them, educational purposes.
Okay, so you think that there are other things that we need to attend to first, take care of business, the people who are already alive, in a sense.
Yes.
Before, think, okay, well, what do you say to the argument, you or any one of you, what do you say to the argument that this is addressing things in the long term, and if we had fewer people or a smaller population, then we wouldn't be having so many of these problems?
Oh, well, I personally don't think that poverty is so much a result of overpopulation. I think it's more that these people who are already alive aren't getting the needs that they need to survive, live day to day.
So it's a mismanagement of resources.
Yes, because our country does have a lot of resources. We are very blessed in a way. We have lots of rainforests and resources that we can use, but the manner in which people have been using them haven't exactly been well managed.
Okay, you were nodding your head earlier. I think you wanted to say something. Did you want to add something to that?
I think poverty doesn't mean overpopulation doesn't really cause poverty, because they can manage their population well, as use of resources like human resources. They can work, many workers can
plant more crops, or go get more jobs, increase the income of the GDP, and I think, were you saying, you were also nodding your head, is there something you wanted to say to that?
I think because poverty is not only rooted with overpopulation, it's something also rooted within the people. Like, do these people are willing to work, or are these people disciplined enough to focus on the things that they have to do? And
So what if somebody tells you, well, that's why we want to tell people to plan having children and not to have so many children, because some of their kids will grow up to be lazy and not work. What do you say to that?
Well, giving the government proposing this, it won't necessarily incentivize these children to actually become more, willing to work or disciplined. I mean, you're giving them contraceptives. What does that concretely have to do with their lives? I mean, and their productiveness in society.
Yes, you can't. You're saying you won't be able to choose. You won't be able to automatically breed people who will be either more intelligent or more hardworking or more industrious. You get what you get when we all come out of the womb. You were saying something. You wanted to add something to that?
Well, same what she said as well. That
if it can't guarantee the
it can't guarantee the people that that they're going to be disciplined or as she said, willing to work, and not everyone also has the same drive to work. And
so it's like you're saying, if instead of 10 kids somebody had 5, who's to say that those 5 would actually be the kind
successful somehow? Like, it doesn't matter on the number. The number in the family does not
determine
the success a family can have, somehow like that.
And I mean, I don't really see anything wrong with encouraging people to have less children, because it does make sense that you should only have as many children as you can care for, but I don't think that like what I said a while ago, the priorities of the government should be focused on the more urgent needs. Like, if they want to, because it says in the bill several times that they want to uplift the quality of life of these people experiencing poverty right now. And if they want to do that, like what you were talking about a while ago, I think a pretty good way to give people more opportunities to leave, their situation of poverty would be give them better education so they can get better jobs and have income so that they can pay for their food and water and what have you.
Okay, you mentioned education. How do you kids feel about educating people, perhaps not through this bill, but maybe either passing some kind of legislation or having a program where you educate people in school or some kind of campaign or drive? Is that better for you than let's say having the RH bill legislated?
Like sort of like a class about
And what if the government went into launched a program like an all-out campaign to educate people about family planning and all that? Would that be better? Would you guys be amenable to that as opposed to this exact RH bill, this very version of it, which we actually have here in front of us, being passed? You want to say something? Yeah.
Actually, just by having these certain classes or these like ways to to spread the word doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna work. It's like if you want to teach people, it's not necessarily right to teach people how to do these things, because that way we're also like adding fuel to the flame. Like it's gonna make this could actually even help. Not help the problem at all. It could actually make it worse in terms of, because when you tell people about something, they're gonna want to, like, out of curiosity, they may want to try it. So in that way, it's not necessarily going to help the current situation of our country.
Okay, so you think that if you go on this massive campaign to educate people, they might actually try methods and then fail, or not practice them correctly, and you will have a bigger population?
Something like that. And I also think that with matters like these, I think that the education, quote unquote, should be coming from something at home. Like if I were a parent, what if I didn't, because the problem with the RH bill is they want to teach it in schools, but as a parent, I'm not assured that what my child is being taught is in line with my beliefs and what I want that child to learn. Like, I don't know, sex education. What if I don't feel that my child is mature enough, that he's ready to learn about these things that they're going to be teaching him in school? How can I be assured that he won't be traumatized, or that he won't get the wrong idea? Like, as a parent, how can you be assured that your children will be getting the education that you want them to get?
Okay, I'm just going to say something quick. I observe from what you're saying that you believe that it's not something that should be a national policy or should be legislated because it's a personal choice. Now I have a question for you guys, and we're just going to take a short break so you can think about, what your answers to this question, and maybe all of you can give your own answer. My question is, okay, you believe it's a choice, and that it should not be national policy to educate people of a certain age, and all the other provisions that they have in this bill, which we have in front of us. So if you guys have any questions, do call 897-8374, 895-4460, or 895-4244. Let me get back to my question. Now, it's a personal choice. What do you say to those people who say that there are a lot of people in our society, and mostly of the lower socioeconomic levels, the lower income brackets, they have no way of getting this education? So maybe in a way they don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, you go to school, you can afford education, your parents can teach you, but what about those people who, quote unquote, don't know any better? Now let's think about that. And by the way, you listeners out there, if you want to call in and make your comments, observations, or just ask these really smart kids any questions, call us at 897-8374, 895-4460, and 895-4244. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe that they're just 16 and they're this smart and articulate and passionate about the topic and what they're arguing, you can actually take a look and see us on Facebook, facebook.com/DZRJ810am. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned and do call us if you want to join in.